I don't know why I
There we
bothered
go,
doing a
everyone. You should hear
segue. They
us now.
can't
I'm
hear.
just
They
setting
couldn't
things
hear
up
the segue.
anyways. You can hear us now. We just wasted a mic check question. That's all. But that's okay. There's plenty
It's
more.
okay.
Plenty more of
Yeah.
those.
Oh, 50 Cent, blood in the man, blood in the sand.
Sean, if you could put any weird game on the main stage at EVO this year, what would it be?
Ooh, a weird game. Just some fucked up Mugen build, you know? Like just get
50
real weird with it.
I like that. I told you about the I
Or
told you about
arms.
the weird Mugen or arms. Arms is always a good one too. Chat are Sean and I yummy enough. Mike is quiet compared to Sean. Oh, wait, let's see. Da 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 da.
Wait,
Am I? Oh, he's still got more time. I'm quiet. Yeah, I am. Okay, 1 second. What can I do? What's the best way to fix that? Quiet. Test. Mike Minotti test. I could raise myself here a little.
you can turn down whatever I'm coming through in OBS.
I raised myself
Desktop audio or whatever.
a little bit. I mean, I don't want to do desktop. I'll lower you a little bit here. All right, I'm gonna count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sean, can you count to 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How was that? But when I look at my bars, it looks okay. Let's see what the chat says about that one.
Let's see what chat says.
Let's see what the chat says about that. Audio. So
Audio screws for me, says Canapper.
Sean, say some more things.
I'm saying more things. I'm probably going to be speaking at this volume during the podcast, so you can dial things in around this volume right here.
Okay, and this is how I talk. Blah, blah, blah. I'll maybe lower you a little bit more. Just a pip. And okay, is that good, everybody? What you heard now between us? Great. All right, we're gonna do the show. If it still sounds off, just let me know. I'm reading chat constantly. We'll figure it out.
You know what I should do to really fuck with people that have it's not here or the regular? Put your face where it says Chef Grubb and put Sean and Mike where it says Tolkodo. That will teach him.
That
Wait,
will
did
teach
I
him.
not? Thought I had one. Hang on. If I have it ready to go, I'll send it over. If not, fuck it. Game us decides.
Are you looking for the doc?
No, I was gonna say yes, I have one. Hang on.
Oh no.
Can you toss this
I can.
in real quick?
I can.
Or one of you. Yeah, Christian, if you could do it, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Here, I'll play on podcast stuff. This one already has me and Mike's names on it and everything.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, I can do
It's
that.
just the Super Metro one.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Sean's
Christian.
camera's going to black because I'm moving some windows around. If I don't have him on my Discord as black, that's all that is. It won't happen once the show starts,
Yeah.
probably, unless I forget.
Give me a
as long as
second.
you leave Discord on your screen, for whatever reason, it doesn't even need to be active, I think. But as long as it's on your
For
screen.
me, it needs to be active. It's not like my
Okay.
thing I'm looking at, it goes black. I don't know why. Maybe it's a
If you
setting.
don't minimize it, it should be fine.
Incorrect. I don't know why. See, like I'll show you right now. I will put this window over here, and I bet now they can't see Sean anymore. Yep, there you go. See, it's not minimized,
Weird.
does it? Yeah.
Discord
Is
works in
this the
mysterious
one?
ways.
I mean, there's might be a setting like keep active even when not thing. I don't know, but I haven't found it. So we'll look at that later.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
Give me a second.
Take it down.
I give you that link. I don't remember which link it was.
I mean, it should be still in thing from when you sent it to me, right? I can hear fireworks. People are starting early. It's Thursday, for God's sake.
Besides Nintendo's, besides Final Fantasy, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one.
Maybe
Change image, upload.
No.
No.
There's always Billy saying, who knows what setting it would possibly... Windows setting? Start?
I've looked, man. I've looked. I've Googled. No one
There we
has an
go.
answer.
No one knows. Whatever.
All right, we're ready.
All right. Let's get going. Look at that. Very nice. Okay. You guys won't hear the intro this time around. But
That's
you'll
fine.
hear
Just
me
give me a
count
countdown to the.
Yeah. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3... It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world games so you don't have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Mike Minotti, and with me is
Sean McDowell.
In today's episode, Xbox canceled a game. Xbox closed a studio. What the hell is Xbox doing? But first, I want to thank everybody for joining us, especially Sean. Great to see you here. Great to have you here. Jeff's still on his little vacation. Yeah, how's it going, Sean?
It's been a week. A lot of highs and lows this one, but hey, it's also a short work week for those of us in the U.S. So we just get to relax after we do this show. So we're gonna try to do that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to a long weekend. I have some video games that I want to play. I want to stream. I haven't been able to stream. I've been doing other things every night. I had this, Nintendo's Tuesday, Wega Man on Wednesday. Saying Wega Man
Still sounds like a whack ass name, but all right.
Like Wega Man. It makes me feel like I'm Dr. Light from Mega Man 8. Like we messed that quickly, Wega Man, with to defeat Dr. Wowie. Yeah, I definitely, I'm not like tired in a bad way, Sean, but it was a busy week, even though it was a short week, even though I didn't even work Monday. I don't know what I'm complaining about, but yet here I am. I'm ready to just chill. Do people still say chillax? Is it embarrassing to say chillax?
No. Well, it is now after you just did that right there. Yeah.
Screw it. I'm going to chillax. You know what I found out today? You know what I said today? I said a lot of things today on this week, various forms of content. You know what the one thing is that has made people most upset is when I came out as pro carpet.
Oh, that. Okay, I had other guesses, but all right.
What was your guess?
So carpet, huh? You like carpet?
My carpet is soft, it's warm, it's fuzzy. I just think it feels better than hardwood floor. I think the whole "it's so gross" thing is overstated. You can clean your carpet just fine. You can vacuum it a lot, and every once in a while you can get the carpet cleaner out. You can get it wet and soapy and dry it. It's fine. Yeah.
I think part of that is that you are single and you live alone. And so you're very much in control of what gets on the carpet and everything. If you live with someone who is messier, if you live with like pets who don't behave themselves on the carpet, stuff like that, especially if you live with kids. Okay. I lived with my little sister for a long time when she was like a baby. Carpet was a nightmare. We were praying for hardwood floors. So it depends on your living situation for sure, I would say.
Maybe here's the thing is that this house has some hardwood floors and it's all kind of shitty. Like it's not really hardwood. It's this vinyl situation that is really lame. And then like there's tile in my kitchen, but like it's cracking and it's real shitty too. So at some point here, frankly, once like years from now when there aren't pets here, I'm probably gonna redo all of the floor and have a clean start on that. And it's gonna be an annoying expense and all that stuff. And I don't know. I'm just thinking about it right now. And when it comes time to put new floor in my living room, I just kind of want to put carpet in. We'll see.
Are you one of those guys where like, you've bought the house or you're paying it off, whatever, and you're like, this is it, this is the house, I'm not like looking for other houses in the future or anything like that?
I mean, we'll see. Unless my life circumstances change a lot, I'm generally pretty good here. There's a couple things. I wish I had a bigger bathroom. I wish I didn't have to go downstairs and upstairs for laundry. Small, stupid things. Otherwise, I'm pretty comfortable here.
Okay,
as long as it's me. All right, though. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Give us a good rating wherever you are listening and hit that like button on YouTube, please. We'll ask a question. You can drop a super chat during the show on YouTube. Thank you to Carlos Sain and Say in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods. Thanks to Christian for producing. You can get more from all of us and support us by going to the patreon.com/GameMess. Gets you access to our Discord server, participation in Q&A sessions, other fun stuff, and of course, ad-free shows. You can also become a supporter by becoming a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber for Tolkoto, Jeff Grubb, Christian RARG. Have we not set that up for you, Sean? You've been streaming more. Why don't we have that set up for you?
Just because I have my own Discord server for emote purposes, I might end up merging it back into the Game S ones. But for now, yeah, I have my own one.
Whatever you want to
get
do.
my Twitch emotes.
Whatever you want to do there. All good. All right. Yeah, busy week. Lots to talk about, actually.
Yeah.
So, I have your Xbox has canceled Perfect Dark reboot. They closed the developer. That means the initiative is gone. There's been just a bunch of layoffs all over the place with Microsoft. It laid off 4% of its employees. That's about roughly 9,100. This has included a good amount of video game people. ZeniMax Online Studios has canceled an MMO that it was working on. Even places like King, who makes Candy Crush, and Raven Software that works on Call of Duty, has seen layoffs. Same with Turn 10. All sorts of studios have been impacted by this. We knew that this
it was
coming.
insane it was insane to like keep up with all of them. I'm glad you're like keeping tabs on that, because it feels like every time I checked on Blue Sky, we just got another one, like the VGC crew or something, like reports of this team getting cuts, this team getting laid off, this game getting canceled. It was wild there for a couple days there.
Yeah. Over at Rare, they canceled Everwild. And
Yes.
Greg Mails, who was like, has been there forever. He's the director of Sea of Thieves, worked on Banjo-Kazooie, is leaving the studio. It even impacts people who are just working with Microsoft. John Romero's studio is working on an FPS that was, is being published by Microsoft. Well, they pulled out, and now that studio is just kind of screwed. So, they lost their funding. So, huge ramifications for this all over the place. Lots of it is shocking. I mean, again, we knew this was coming, but boy, the Perfect Dark thing, especially the initiative, they thumped their chests.
It was such a big deal for them. Yeah, they were really pushing that in whatever showcase it was where they last showed it. Was last year, the one before, and it was a big deal to them. They were like, yeah, this is one of our big new releases. We're reviving an old franchise. It's gonna make new players happy, old players happy, and to just cut that completely, like even though we knew that development was troubled on that, Jeff talked about a little bit. Reb Valentine put out that report a while back over at IGN. Like it seemed like things were shaky, but just the fact that they completely canned all of it feels wild, considering how much they were propping it up. It feels like almost like, I don't know, it would be like canceling what are we on now, like Gear 6 or something. Like kind of feels like that level to me based on how they were treating it, right?
Well, it's a huge game. They made this studio specifically because they wanted to be able to compete more with PlayStation. They're calling it quadruple A. They even brought in Crystal Dynamics to help.
Yeah.
So, it's a startling thing of, well, money and manpower wasn't the problem. So what the hell happened there? How were they not able to get something going there? And whose fault is that really? I doubt it's the fault of many of the people who are now out of work because of that.
It never really is. It's almost always management. Management isn't guiding the ship properly, and the ship goes up on the rocks. And you don't blame the crew who's below decks trying to get everything sorted, bail out the water when there's a crack. Like, no, the captain wasn't looking in the right direction. It's their fault. It almost always is in cases like this, right?
Absolutely. The whole thing is just absolutely, it's startling. And I don't know what exactly Xbox's plan is right now, how this makes, they're going to throw shit out there like, oh, we're a swifter company now, blah, blah, blah. I mean, what's the strategy there? It's just, it seems to be we're more of a publisher. Okay. But then they still talk about these, a next gen system and all that stuff.
Right.
Part of me is almost like, pick something, because who's going to be excited about a next Xbox? How is a new Xbox possibly going to do any better than a Series X did?
It does feel like, based on the ROG Ally partnership, though, that maybe they are heading in, may sound weird to some people, but like the 3DO or like CDI sort of hardware strategy, where they partner with people who are already making the hardware and making good hardware at that, to make their platform. Obviously, I'm comparing it to failed platforms, but the difference is those were platforms trying to get off the ground. But I think in this way, they are going to start working maybe more closely with like an Asus or someone to work on something that is less bespoke, something that is a little bit more off the shelf. That way they can do things like, because they talked about the ROG Ally interface, it is apparently just the new Xbox app. And so when you fire up the ROG Xbox Ally, it is just booting into a version of Windows that is running less things, running fewer background tasks, and the desktop is loading and everything. And it's just loading into the Xbox app. And I think because they're putting effort into that, and the way that Sarah Bond has talked about Windows being the future of gaming and stuff, I do think that is the way forward for them. So even if they sell something that is a console, maybe it is just a PC running the Xbox app and stuff, which raises a whole bunch of other questions because technically then they're abandoning backwards compatibility and stuff. But I feel like that what we've already seen of that plan is sort of a sneak preview of what they view the future of Xbox being, which is in some ways concerning to a lot of people, which I totally get.
It's less risky for them too, right? Because, you know, if the Asus ROG Xbox doesn't do that well, that's a pretty small investment on their part. They're able to move on from that pretty swiftly. You know, we talked about management. That's not changing. Phil Spencer is still going to be in charge of Xbox. There's even rumors going around that he was going to step down after a year and Sarah Bond would become in charge. And Microsoft came out and just said, no, that's not true. He's gonna be in charge for the foreseeable future here. I mean, how do you feel about that? Because there's one part of me, it's like, it seems like everything there is going to crap and none of the plans under him have really worked. But there's another part of me that wonders how much does it change? But, it's like, somebody in management has to kind of take some blame here.
So here's the thing. You know why Phil's not going anywhere?
Because he's doing exactly what they want him to do.
Because he's doing exactly what they want him to do. He's making the money, and then when it comes time for someone else in Microsoft, whether it be Satya or whoever, to say, we need to cut a crap ton of jobs so that we have more money for other things, he's not getting in the way of that. So from a business perspective, Phil is doing everything right for them. It sucks. It's awful. People's lives are being upended, and we're all pissed. But Microsoft's making money, and that's the kind of company that Microsoft has always been. They're a cutthroat company. When you get to be a megacorp, that is how you treat things. Like, Apple on their side of things is the same way. If they could be a monopoly, they would. Microsoft has always been that way, where they try to demolish the competition and do all these things. There's a lot of talk right now about their contracts with the military and people not liking that and everything like that. But at the end of the day, if they're making money, that's what they're concerned about. And that's why they're all these resources into AI and whatnot, Copilot, they're quadrupling down on all that stuff. That's what they're concerned about. That's what he's doing. He's still, he's a CEO. He's still that C-suite executive who makes these kind of decisions. Just because, he put on like a Battletoads t-shirt or whatever. And even if he does genuinely love gaming, it doesn't mean that he's not still going to be the kind of person who does this. And that's who they want in charge there. And that's why he won't go anywhere unless he wants to.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Do you think this is going to make any kind of a shift in the way the consumer feels about Xbox? Part of me thinks that,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it will. You think there's going to be less goodwill than ever for a brand that's been losing goodwill like crazy anyways, right?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but they're not going to care that goodwill is lost until they bet big on something with gaming that just completely collapses because no one believes in them anymore. Then they'll be a little pissed off. But with the way things are going, I kind of feels like maybe at that point they're just like, well, all right, we're just really yanking back the reins at this point and going full we're just Microsoft Gaming as a publisher, and then it's just maybe dwindle from there as they care less and less. Who knows, right?
Yeah, there's an average consumer who maybe not know very much about this, and if they hear that Gears of War 6 or whatever, E-Day, whatever it's called, is very, very good, just going to go out and get it, and they'll just think it's on the PlayStation. You know, Microsoft, the Xbox used to really care about kind of cultivating this community and this sort of, you know, sense of group and this fandom for around Xbox. I wonder, you know, there's a lot of Xbox fan sites and these passionate people. And I just wonder how much longer that is almost going to sort of go on, if a lot of those places are going to become more general gaming places, or they, you know, if they're just going to continue to focus on Xbox, which, you know, at this point is a third-party publisher that dabbles in some hardware experiments, maybe. Now, they, you know, again, they're trying to say this next console is going to be something interesting. I'm skeptical of that. We'll see. But, you know, and maybe some of this is, you know, I hate to say that people are going to forget this. I don't think they're going to forget this. But sometimes layoffs do come and go. Remember when everything happened at Blizzard and it seemed like, that's it, that's the end of Blizzard? Time kind of moves on in a way, and people reevaluate eventually.
I hate that layoffs are happening so frequently. Not necessarily at this number, but they're happening so frequently that I did catch myself thinking to myself, okay, so like 9,000 people, not all of those are specifically gaming. You know,
No, it's all across Xbox.
It's across Microsoft. Yeah, it's across Microsoft.
I meant Microsoft.
And I was thinking to myself, man, when's the last time we had layoffs this big related to gaming? Like, oh, you know, whether it be a bigger business like a Sony laying off a bunch of people and stuff. And it was Microsoft with what, the 10,000 or whatever from 2 years ago.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh my God, how did I forget about that? And it's because it feels like every week it's this team got laid off, this team got downsized,
right,
something like that. It sucks.
It's almost unfortunate that kind of hits harder when it is like, oh wow, this studio closed or this game was canceled. It shouldn't be like that way. But it is, and it makes me wonder what will happen if it is ever we wake up and it's, oh, Microsoft is shutting down Rare, or Microsoft is shutting down Double Fine, one of these beloved studios that it picked up to try to, you know, get more content so it can compete with PlayStation, and then that didn't work out anyways. How much longer? Is it really going to bother footing the bill for these companies that maybe turn a little bit of a profit as far as they're concerned? Not a Call of Duty profit. That's for sure. I just hope that those companies and everybody is still able to move along here.
Exactly. And, you know, I will say Rare is probably okay for now because they have a live service game. And as long as that keeps going, they'll probably keep funneling money in. And that's probably the kind of projects that we'll see keep going. But yeah, I am concerned a bit about the smaller projects, the single player projects. They bought a lot of companies, and it really sucks that some people are kind of looking up and seeing a boot above them right now. That's just fucking awful.
Speaking of fuck-ups, Mind's Eye boss reportedly claims internal and external saboteurs are to blame for the studio's woes, from Jordan Miller at VGC. That's it there. That's the story, is that, you know, Leslie Benz, like, finally came out of hiding, whatever, to talk to employees there. All the employees who, by the way, about 300 of them have received emails informing them that they are at risk of losing their jobs. But no, the Benz is still like, we're gonna maybe turn this around. It's gonna be great, and you know, it was all saboteurs and backstabbers, inside and out. That's the reason nobody likes Mind's Eye. I've seen Mind's Eye. I know what that is. You can't fool me. What are we talking about here?
Is that those press sneak fucks I keep hearing about,
something
or is
like
that
something like that?
That is delusion, right? It's just
Yes.
wrong.
It absolutely is. A guy who once worked on the most popular game in the world and is not able to handle failure. Right? I don't know if it's a meltdown or what, but it is just absolutely bizarre. Again, like, the game has like 30 people playing it right now, probably on Steam concurrently.
Like, it was a train wreck on release, and I think I haven't played it. Have you played it? Have you played it?
No, I just watched Jeff play it. I mean, it looks freaking terrible. I have no desire to.
And that's the thing, is the game could be like maybe an okay like action shooter GTA adjacent thing or whatever. Maybe they could like strive for like a 7 out of 10 game out of all this. It's the fact that it is so hilariously broken and buggy, and it just doesn't freaking work. Like, maybe they could have almost a Cyberpunk on PS4, Xbox One situation where they turn things back around. But the product they put out is bad across all platforms. And that's why people are pissed. It's not a collusion or anything, right?
I mean, Cyberpunk still got like a lot, mostly 8s, right? When stuff like that, like Jeff's 3 out of 5 was considered low for Cyberpunk back then. Mind's Eye is at a 34. There's nothing to save here. You'd have to remake the game. You have to do what Final Fantasy 14 did, right? Just make a new game. But why bother doing that? It's Mind's Eye. You're not making the new Final Fantasy and it failed and it's some, thing people want to like, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
No one cares about liking Mind's Eye. Everyone moved on.
Yeah, it's a mediocre video game with awful performance, and that's why everyone has gone from kind of not caring to not really liking to hating the thing that they bought because it just doesn't operate. They can't do anything with it.
I mean, it's definitely victim's the wrong word, but we do tend to kind of gang up on these awful games sometimes. It's like a phenomenon that almost started with Redfall. Maybe, I'm sure before that, but it happened with Redfall. It happened with Concord. When the games are bad, we kind of like really sort of poke and prod at the wounds there.
You wash your mouth.
When games fail.
Yeah, people like dunking on things, and that's actually something that I very much myself kind of try to stay away from. It's like, come on, man, like people worked on this, like they tried, and another case of mismanagement. Someone somewhere in the chain did not make the right call with this. Mind's Eye is clearly a game where in any other situation it would have been delayed 6 months to a year because someone looks at it, they say, oh God, you run into someone and they turn to this horrible spaghetti monster. Yeah, that's happening consistently. We need to push this back. And they just didn't do that. And it's pretty obvious to me, at least, that that's what the problem is here. I assume that's what the problem is here. And yeah, it comes from somewhere further up the chain. But people further up the chain appear to be a little delusional about that fact.
I'm not expecting to hear from Mind's Eye again. I have, unfortunately, I do expect that studio to close, and it sucks. But that I can't imagine any other future there. All right, that's it for our very uplifting news segment today. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Read some super chats.
All right.
We can get back to it. I'll read the I can read the super chats, Sean, if you want to.
Can you?
Oh yeah, if you already got them pulled up, that'd be great.
Them.
I'm still sort of collating the mailbag.
Oh, okay. Let's just bring it back.
All right.
Cool.
All right, we're back. We got some super chats I'll read here. Thank you so much, everybody. Slane McAwesome says, in honor of the 4th of July, can you guys do a Mount Rushmore of presidents? Sure. William Howard Taft.
Naturally.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, can it just be Taft? Maybe this is one. It's just a giant Taft statue, a Taft shoe.
And what's his face from Metal Wolf Chaos?
Okay.
That's it.
There you go. I know he's just a senator. I thought he was a president, but maybe Armstrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, honorarily in Mike's United States of America, Armstrong.
Yeah. I guess we could do Solidus Snake. He was president, which is really funny.
Oh, yeah. I guess they didn't specify video game president or real president, so there you go.
Michael Wilson is the guy from Metal Wolf Chaos.
There you go.
Did you look that up, or did you know that one, Christian?
No, I looked it up. Dear God.
Okay, because
we were worried.
That feels like something maybe Christian memorized at one point in his life, and he remembers it. Okay, gotcha.
And I'm just thinking about video game presidents because there's the president from Ni no Kuni 2, which should have been amazing, and then it just is okay. But yeah, just Taft's all I care about. You can put anyone else you want after that. Tuber says, okay, I pull up. Hop out at the after party. You and all your friends, yeah, they love Mike Minotti. I think this is a song they're doing here. Perhaps even a rap.
Now at least.
Yeah, but I liked it. I like it, Tuber. Thank you so much. Lex Letty says, my uncle lives in Boston. I'm going to start calling myself the most American contributor to Giant Bomb. Did you watch the dump truck today when Dan Reichert's... first Dan Reichert's didn't know that Super Apache Wolf was Irish, and then later claimed to be the most Irish.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I was there for the whole thing. I was there when Lex Luddy called into the show, and of all the contributors to Giant Bomb over the years, not once was I mentioned as an Irish person on the website.
Look, I was dumbfounded by everything else going on. In my defense, it was a lot. Next up is from Geo Reaper. Let's get an update on the new bars. When is Gamer Rap 2.0 dropping? I know. It's a long weekend. I'm going to work on that this weekend. Like I said, it's been very busy. It's not an excuse. I'll get on that. I'll do that. Sean will do Day Sean. We're all gonna fulfill our obligations. No. It's obligation month, or something.
Obligation week at Giant Bomb. Let's fucking go.
We had nepotism week this week. Now it's obligation week.
Yeah, you didn't know Scout's been producing the whole time.
Yeah. Surprisingly good for a dog. It's like that dog at the end of Sound Hill 2. A lot like the dog from that. Yeah. Simon from Saskatchewan says, from now on, when things don't go my way, I'll say it's because of internal and external saboteurs. Too bad if it's too boring because it has a Blight Club written over it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, usually when a game gets like a score of a 30, it's like, oh, this would be a great Blight Club game at least. But this like just doesn't even seem like it's very exciting for that. It's just not a good fit.
I love the way you say saboteurs, by the way.
Saboteur.
Yeah, you got yellow Sean Connery or something.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of like the guy from the Pink Panther movies. I don't know. That's how I want to say it. Saboteur. Simon from Saskatchewan says, rest in peace, Michael Madsen. Ever play Crime Boss? That's Rock Case City. I did not. I think I watched when Giant Bomb played it at one point there. But no, did you ever do any Rock Case City, or you a big Madsen fan?
No and no. I'll be honest, I didn't really recognize this person by name when I heard the news.
He does a lot of Tarantino stuff, so if you're not a Tarantino person, you might not know.
Not really.
Wiley Jenkins says, as an Xbox owner since the OG, I think going forward, PC and Nintendo are the way to go if you want to make sure that games aren't an afterthought. I mean, if you do, you get a PC, you're going to get all the same games anyways. That's again, like, I get them releasing their games on other systems, PC and PlayStation, do more for Nintendo. I just have no idea what the selling point for the next Xbox is possibly going to be, or what their sales expectations for that can possibly be.
Like, let's be real, since the birth of Xbox Play Anywhere, the play has been PC and Nintendo, and if you're interested in their exclusives, PlayStation. With PlayStation now bringing everything to PC on delay, if you're cool with PC, like, I'll keep saying it. Yeah, PC and a Switch, now Switch 2, is the most cost-effective way to play like 99% of games, So
it's pretty good.
If you're down, good route to go, absolutely.
RT Bick, who's been a Lincoln member for 17 months, says, congrats on the new gig, Turbo Sean.
Hey, thank you.
Yep, it's good having you there again.
Yeah, congrats.
It's always nice having you around and having your help, because it's very handy help, so we appreciate you.
Yeah, I guess we haven't really mentioned it here on Gamus yet, but yeah, we worked something out, so you guys are still building the airplane mid-flight a little bit over at the Independent Giant Bomb, but you guys need some help. I needed a freaking job. We figured something out, so yeah, I'm back to helping out behind the scenes.
Oh, let's go. Good content's gonna come to Giant Bomb finally.
What do you mean? I was on almost everything this week. Didn't you enjoy this week's content?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's totally not a sign that you're very busy over there.
David Arlene says, if Expedition 33 doesn't win Game of the Year like Jeff guaranteed, does he shave off Turbo Sean's hair? I don't think Sean's going to agree to that.
Hell no, I'm growing it out. I'm liking growing it out. The story I'm sticking to this week is, first I took his spot on Decides, then I took his hair, then I took a job at his company. It's a great week for me to steal from Jeff Grubb.
Hell yeah, I took his morning show. We're just all taking exactly. I'm not giving it back. Actually, it's a lot of work. He can have it back. It's fine. I'll tell you what, when he said that, there's probably like, oh, I hope it wins, but I don't know. Now that Dan Reichert is really liking Expedition 33, I am feeling pretty good about it. So
yeah, I knew Dan would too, because
I figured he would.
in part it helps because it has realistic art style.
Yes.
Let's be real.
Mhm.
But also because it's a turn-based game that has an active element, and that is a huge barrier for so many people, myself included. Honestly, as much as I love JRPGs, I do definitely prefer action RPGs most of the time. But also, I've always loved the Mario RPG style, having just a little something in there to like keep the turn-based stuff interesting, and that's why I think everyone's fallen in love with Expedition 33.
Yeah,
And it's anime as fuck, and Dan secretly loves anime.
he loves
When I see-
anime when it's not presented as anime. It's got to be like
Yeah, yeah.
secret anime.
Yeah,
You
he's a
gotta-
gigantic Metal Gear fan, so of course he
yeah.
actually loves anime, even though he'll never admit he doesn't like the art style. And
You
everything.
you gotta. It's like a baby. You gotta do like a plane, like pretend it's the spoon of full of anime is a plane. And
Here comes the anime.
Thank you.
I love that. You know, I'm fine with like very like basic turn-based systems for sure. But if I was making a turn-based RPG, I would absolutely Mario RPG the hell out of it. It just definitely seems like it helps
It
make
keeps
it.
you engaged.
Yeah, it helps make it palatable for so many more people. All right, next up here is from Baba is me. Hey Mike, great job on Game This Mornings. Thank you. Is this a Wally Pipp moment for what's his name? John Grubb? That's a baseball reference, Wally Pipp. No, like I said, he could take it back. I'll go on there every once in a while. It was fun. I enjoyed doing it. It was nice doing it with Jan. It was nice to get AJ on there helping. But that entire time, I'm like looking at the clock. I'm like, is this going to be about an hour? Is this going to be about an hour? Can we move on to the next
I know
thing
you
now?
were really worried about that going in.
I'm like, because I'm usually a bit more like succinct than Jeff or other people. Even when I would be on that show with Jeff, we would usually finish it like 10 minutes earlier than other people. But we got it. We did good.
Yeah, and you also had people who definitely helped you there with Jan and AJ. Like,
Oh yeah,
you can chat to them for a while. So
AJ's a big win bag for sure.
You did a good job this week, Mike.
Thank you. Fudsec says, will DK Bonanza finally bring back Sukong? Who the hell is, I'm gonna look up Sukong, and I'm worried about
How's that
this.
spelled? S-U-E?
Oh my
Oh, this is a real
God.
person. I think.
Oh my god.
What? So, Christian, explain.
Oh my god. Read the chat.
Let's see here now. Sukong these nuts.
You just
It's
got
so
God.
obvious.
You just got dude.
Oh man, I did not get it till just then. Wow. That's impressed. I'm almost impressed. That's good. Sukong these nuts, man. I was like, who the hell is Sukong? I thought I knew most of the Kongs. Maybe they're from King of Swing or something.
Is this a work? Am I getting work?
I got work.
You're talking to a guy who does his banking at Bofa, so don't worry, Christian. This is just how it is.
Incredible.
All right.
Hobbies or sleep says, shout to Simon from Worcestershire, great member of the community, and hope your battle against cancer is going well this week. Yes, absolutely, Simon. Hope all is going well. I'm a big fan of the sauce from your town. Wiley Jenkins says, when you pull up the old carpet to replace it and see how much dirt the vacuum didn't get, you may change your stance. That is out of sight, out of mind dirt, my friend. That's completely okay dirt. That's fine.
That's below dirt. We don't talk about the below dirt.
It's the below dirt, exactly. Sludge Reinhold says 9,000 is so many people it's hard to even comprehend. That's twice as many people as the town I grew up in. Insane. Microsoft can go redacted. Yeah, and again, trillion dollar company, like 3-point-something trillion. No, nobody or corporation needs to have $1 trillion. It's insane.
Well, when you're really getting into AI stuff.
Yeah, boy.
When you're sinking money into AI
When you're burning
stuff.
half of the planet's trees to run dumb.
Yeah,
AIs
well, at
using
least
that
AI
money.
has been making our lives better for sure, right? And hasn't just
Oh,
been
yeah,
giving
yeah,
us
yeah.
shitty art or anything like that.
Yeah, you're
We're all very
worried about
excited.
job
Of
C4.
bad search. Yeah.
Sludge Reinhold says, also great to see Sean back on the show.
Hello.
Banjo Playing Bear says, hope you guys have a great 4th. I think this current generation has been plagued by a graphics arms race with diminishing returns. Nintendo has done it right. Yeah, I mean, that has been a whole thing. I mean, the initiative was a big part of that, right? That's why they're saying quadruple A, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And like, and here we are. For sure.
I do think we're at an interesting slight reset on that, though, because of the growing popularity of handhelds across the board.
Yes.
Especially, as PC handhelds are starting to explode. Now, more and more devs, more and more companies are focusing on optimizing for smaller screens, optimizing for lower power, and optimizing in general, because that's something we kind of didn't have for a solid 5 years there very much. So I think maybe that is like, again, we're talking about reining things back. I think that's reining some companies in a little bit more because they can focus on having just focused experiences that run on those things.
I almost feel like there's only 5 franchises we're ever going to really need to push graphics anymore. It's like Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, like maybe your Gears of Wars and your Horizons and Naughty Dog stuff. And like otherwise, everything can look as good as Expedition 33. And that's good enough.
Yeah. Even then, like, as good as all of the major franchises look, I don't think we really need more than how they looked on the PS4.
No.
It's going to exponentially increase the cost of making the game and time to make the game. Maybe it's okay if we hit a bit of a plateau until some of that stuff gets easier, right?
Right, like, yeah, make the plateau. And again, let's do that. We're starting to get the performance in a decent place for a lot of these things, so like that's good. Why don't we actually just make the games look like this forever? They're kind of looking like the same anyways, because the differences is so minimal. But just make it the same and make them hopefully easier to create, so we have 4-year dev cycles more often again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we can't go back.
This is a funny thing. I remember my friend from the New A Plus boys in like when he went to the E3 where they showed the PS4 and he saw people cheering for was it the PS4 or Xbox? It was one of those. People were cheering for the teraflops and he said we're cook, and he was in that shit since then. So he was right.
Oh, incredible. Alan Miracle says now Sean can keep you boomers in check again. Wow. Remember way back when you had to explain to me why I was being called a boomer? Because I was like, I don't understand. I'm a millennial. And you had to explain it.
Yeah, it all kind of boils down to Mike, look behind you. Just look behind you a little bit. maybe think a little bit.
It's like, what? Is it the Dreamcast calendar?
And the hard dates.
Is it the Dreamcast calendar?
Dreamcast calendar.
Or the replica sign for an Epcot fast food restaurant that doesn't exist anymore?
That might have like a little bit to do with it,
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Maybe just a bit. Edgar Marino says, I watched the Horse Girl anime. I thought it was a track anime. It wasn't until the girl was getting horseshoes that it hit me that they were horses.
Yes. What do you know about Uma Musume, Mike?
I didn't watch any episode of that show, but everybody hypes it up so hard. It's like I kind of need to watch it. I don't know what to do because everybody's watching it.
Mike?
Jan wants to play that game, and I kind of want to watch him play it. So there's that.
We do.
From what I heard.
No, stop. Everyone, stop.
Okay.
Listener, we need to be on the same page. Everybody, there's 461, 462. Hi, welcome in. People watching right now, we all need to be on the same page. We need to keep Jan the fuck away from that game.
Why? Oh, no.
Okay.
What's going to happen?
Is it?
It's a gacha game. It is
gambling.
Oh, the horses are gotcha.
We need to keep Jan away from this game at all costs.
Especially now.
Scout needs treats, okay? We can't let Jan throw away the paycheck he doesn't have yet on the horse girl game.
Oh, this is not good. This is not good. No horses for Jan. No horses for Jan.
No quick looks, no GB plays.
No quick looks, no unfinished, no GB plays, no Mega Man, no Wega Man, none of it. No horse girls.
Unfinished is gonna be a name of Jan's resume if he plays his goddamn game. Mike, he's gonna get trapped.
Yeah, we can't let this happen to our sweet
Jan. That's all I'm asking for.
Absolutely not. Visualizer says 404 Xbox not found. That boy Jerry says, is Namco ever going to give us info on the next Tales of Remaster? Should I finally just play Tales of the Abyss on my totally real PlayStation 2 instead? That boy Jerry, listen to me, because me and you, we're in this together. Because I also really want to play Tales of the Abyss. Because my understanding is that it's the best one of all the ones I haven't played yet. And I don't want to really play it on my PS2, and I don't want to play the 3DS version. It's got to be the one they remastered next. They did Vesperia. They did Symphonia. They did Graces, surprisingly, before that one. Maybe because that 3DS one happened. It's going to happen, I bet. I'm telling you, I think we're going to get that within a year, maybe 2. I wouldn't be shocked if it gets announced at some point this year, even. I think we'll get Tales of the Abyss. If they announce the next remaster somehow isn't Abyss, it's something works. I think they are doing. I forget if it was Xillia or one of the other PS3 ones did. They did say something about that. But we're going to get Abyss eventually.
Okay. Cool.
And then last one here. El Greg says, remember when Jan called Sean old? Good times.
I still haven't listened to that episode. What the hell did I miss? What do you do?
I forget. Maybe he knew that you were going to try to keep him away from the horse girl game, and he lashed out.
I thought the way people were talking about, I thought it had something to do with Death Stranding or something like that. I don't know the details. I have to go back and listen to that episode, I suppose.
Oh, that's right. I need to play Death Stranding at some point, don't I?
I do, though.
Do I? Yeah.
Do you really need?
Yeah, I gotta at least try it. I don't want to be the stinker who talked about.
You're specifically talking about 2?
2, yeah.
2 or 1?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be that guy who was poo-pooing it the entire time. Now isn't even gonna try it to see if it's actually.
Yeah. Have you played 1 at all, Mike?
I played 1.
It's fun.
Not all of 1, but I played some of 1. I never hated it. I just didn't.
I did. That's
I can guess why people hated it, but
you didn't like it, Christian?
I try so hard to like that video game, and I could not get into it. It's not a fun game. I don't know what people want to see. And I like a bunch of just the minutia, she was walking around. I like those kind of games, but this game I couldn't. I couldn't do it. That game beat me. I didn't beat that game. The game beat me. So.
For me, it was definitely the fact that it's like the first 10 hours of Death Stranding 1 are boring.
Yes,
they are irredeemably boring. And everyone's like, it gets so much better after that. I'm like, I do genuinely believe you. I just feel so burned that I just wasted 10 hours of my life on something that I was just bored with. But now I'm kind of interested in Death Stranding 2 with the way people talk about it. Even people who are fuddy-duddies about the first one, like me, there's actually stuff in here that is pretty cool gameplay wise and stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe when it goes down in price or something, I'll check it out. Because, I didn't get a code or anything. So maybe when it gets time to thinking about Game of the Year stuff or something,
it comes out on PC.
Pick it up. Or it comes on PC maybe then or something. But I'm interested in trying 2, especially when people say you don't need to necessarily play 1 as much. Yeah, just watch a summary or whatever. You'll be mostly up to speed. Maybe I'll hop in later on.
All right, man. I don't know if fireworks are picking up, but people are going crazy out there. They must be really excited that we just finished the super chat segment here. But if you have any more super chats, we will get to them before the end of the show. We're gonna take another break though. We're gonna come back. We're doing a Game Best Decides mailbag today.
Yeah.
So let's hang around some more. Let's keep talking about video games, everybody. That's what I want to do in just a little bit.
All right, break. You wanna go grab a drink, or do you wanna?
I'm all right. Let's just get to weed.
All right. You had that mailbag ready, Sean?
Yeah, but I got it all ready to go. I kind of just filled it up. I also did sort of an ad everyone paying in case they won't want to get in here. So if we go along, we just, stop at a certain point. I'll drop them into the next one,
Sure thing. Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right, we're back. This isn't the dog themed show, so I don't have to make Sean pretend to be a dog and go attack a fictional mailman.
Myself on this one.
No, you can just start reading the mailbag questions we got from our community.
Yep, that's right. Normally we do this over on Nintendogs, but since it's been one hell of a week, I thought we could all just get in a circle, talk things out a little bit, just have a nice chill mailbag over here on Decides. I listened. I know people wanted them over here every once in a while. I try to sneak them in.
There you go.
When it allows for it. So, first up, Tommy Pencils. A few months ago, Joyzy told me that the P in P4 stands for PEE. That's why it's called P4 Golden. Is this true? I regret doing the mailbag, Mike.
Oh, that's funny. I get that. Golden, because yeah. That's funny. That's a good time. No, it doesn't. It stands for Persona.
That's an answer. From Slain. By the time you read this, it will already be the 4th of July here in Europe. How are y'all going to celebrate America's birthday or whatever the fuck you all celebrate on this day? Any particular video games you associate with the 4th of July?
The only game I really think of with 4th of July
50 cents.
is actually Day of the Tentacle, because there's some time traveling stuff there. So like, a third of the game is set in colonial times, not even like on the July 4th or anything like that. So I don't know. I always think of that as like the one game that I could kind of pretend is a 4th of July game. There are others. There are other kind of colonial games. There's Assassin's Creed 3. There's Liberty or Death, right? Weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, that's the only one I think about Day of the Tentacle. And I played through that pretty recently already, so I'm not too worried about going back to it right now.
Okay. For me, I have a weird one. I have a bit of a weird one, but I have an explanation for it. Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And it's because 4th of July weekend, long weekend. Games Done Quick is sometimes like around 4th of July weekend. I think it used to always like be on 4th of July weekend because they lined up with the holiday. And that would just be a time for me to veg out and like get caught up on stuff that I missed out on in 14. You know, like put GDQ on in the background. I would have like an extra day off of work and stuff like that. So I definitely associate 14 with being like a summer game and sort of just it's a lazy hot day. AC ain't keeping up. I'm just gonna kick back and play some 14. So
Gosh, that sounds nice. Yeah, Summer Games Done Quick starts on Sunday. I kind of like to.
yeah.
I would like to do a little cleaning up on some games I'm in the middle of and haven't finished yet, like Doom, The Dark Ages, even Avowed. Still in the middle of that. I think that would be nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm just taking it easy. There aren't much in the way of family plans. My one friend's having a party, so I'll go over there and hang out with people. But yeah, nothing crazy, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not the greatest time to feel patriotic
No.
over here. So, well, I'll probably just like,
Wait, what do you mean?
know,
Yeah.
no particular Christian. I'll probably just have my usual like 4th of July brats or something. That's
Yeah,
about it.
I don't even know if I'm gonna watch 1776 this year. I'm just not feeling it. I don't know.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, well, huge.
Speaking of summer games done quick, the channel for that is back on the server.
Oh,
If
heck
you all
yeah.
wanna talk about it.
Yeah,
Nice.
tradition.
you
We
go.
open that channel up, basically twice a year. Anytime there's a game
Yep.
quick for people to talk about.
What's the finale this year? Now I'm curious. I haven't really looked at the schedule.
Oh yeah, I
but-
didn't check the schedule yet. I'm. What's up?
The finale is Deltarune. Chapters 1 plus
yeah.
2. I haven't played
Yeah.
chapter 2 yet. Shit, maybe I need to hurry up and do that.
They've been doing RPGs recently, so that checks out. Yeah.
Yeah, the
That'll be a
one.
big one for
Okay,
them.
okay. The bonus game right before that is a Mario Kart World already. So, geez, interesting. Wonder what that will look like. Oh man, they're gonna be doing a Final Fantasy 9 run at some point too. All right, lots of fun stuff there. I always like games done quick a lot.
Same. From Like a Dylan, hey Merch Master Mitch, for
Go.
Christmas, can we get a Turbo Sean action figure in the style of Turbo Man from Jingle All the Way?
Look, that sounds like a pretty big ask. I have no idea how to even start that. I have not, so far I've just been selling stuff from the one fulfillment center that can, where is he going? That can, print things. I haven't, gotten bespoke merch and then put it manually in the store from some warehouse. That's a whole nother thing there. It's a funny joke, though. The Turbo Sean thing. Okay, let's see. Is it a Turbo? You have you have a Turbo Man. Hell yeah. Sean is holding up a Turbo Man. Look at that. That's pretty good. It's Turbo time. All right. If we do that,
Couldn't
though,
hear you at all there.
if we do that, I have to be Booster.
Oh, you're a booster, absolutely.
Wait a second. People didn't like Booster.
People didn't know.
Nobody
I-
likes you, Booster.
Keep talking. I gotta put this away. It needs to be nestled safely under
Jingle,
the
jingle all the
tree.
way.
Yeah.
Jingle
Okay.
all the way. How do you feel about it, Mike?
Oh, I think it's good. I like Christmas movies a lot, and I'm a big fan of those kinds of Christmas movies. They're relatively cozy. It's kind of late in what I consider the prime of Christmas movies for me, from that kind of mid '80s to late '90s period where we were making a lot of those, and a lot of them were hitting, like your Santa Clauses, your Home Alones, your Christmas Vacations. Things like that. So, man, I wouldn't have necessarily pegged you as a big Jingle All the Way guy, Sean. I think I learned something today.
Oh, dude, I love that movie. Which, by the
it's
way, that's
very
not where
fun.
Turbo Sean comes from. If anyone's
Oh,
wondering,
it would have been good.
No, it's just a silly, goofy movie. You know, it's Arnold being like his comedy best. I think I love that movie.
I think it's a ton of fun. Absolutely.
Yeah. Next up here is from Michael Riley. I was on the verge of subbing back into Game Pass. Ooh, when's the last time a corporation was so shitty that helped you save money? Needless to say, I'm opting out of that subscription.
I didn't even think about that, and part of me is like, how often am I really using Game Pass lately? That might be a pretty good idea. They clearly don't seem to care that much about it anymore. It's frankly, it's easier for me than other people anyways, because I can get codes for the games I really care about. So yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's hard for me to imagine the last time something like that happened. I mean, that Harry Potter game is something I definitely would have gotten if J.K. Rowling didn't become a monster. So I guess I saved
reveal
$70
herself
there.
to be a terrible person.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of too. Not necessarily a company, but boy, sure have saved a lot of money on any Harry Potter movies and stuff in the past decade or so.
Yep.
From Joyzy, I bet you couldn't even name 404 game messes. Listen to a bit, Joyzy, every
that's pretty good. Oh, that's why there was that 404 Xbox joke earlier. Look at it is that is the number.
Oh, it is 404.
That's funny.
You're not gonna find us.
Yeah,
shit.
Man. We it hasn't been a great. We weren't really able to celebrate many milestones here, but when we get to in a couple years when it's Game of Society 500, we're gonna party like crazy.
Oh, you know it.
We'll do it nude. There, I said it. Screw it. Okay, fine, we won't. I guess we'll get in trouble.
I knew you wouldn't be able to shoot that one
uploaded only on Pornhub.com.
All right, let's just...
From Screaming Mad in here. Hey, Gitaru Mitch and Turbo Sean Volnut. Ooh, good call.
Oh, nice.
Since we are halfway through 2025, what is the most obscure 2025 game y'all have played this year? Mine would be Dice Ball, a dice-based baseball roguelike where you roll dice to hopefully get good rolls like homers, at-bats, and flyouts on defense, as well as buy cards at a shop in between games to improve the run. Cool. Sounds good.
Clay Obscure.
yeah. It's only made by 30 people. It's this real hidden gem. Came from France. No one knows about it.
Because it's obscure.
You did it. I mean, the two games that I liked this year that I feel like nobody really talked about a whole lot. 2 Point Museum is like not some big hidden gem, but I think that game's really good. Its average review score is like an 85. And again, people don't really talk about it very much, and I think that's a bit of a shame. The other one I actually learned from Jen just from doing, shows with him is that Nubby's Number Factory.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
The kind of like Peggle roguelike with the early web aesthetic. I think that game is super fun.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm opening Steam here, which apparently closed at some point just to see. But I think mine would actually be sort of not a game, but a ROM hack, which I'm counting because one of my favorite games of the year so far. But Bazzer, that Mario 64 ROM hack I played. Right. That's a little bit of Balatro, a little bit of Neon White. Like it turns into a roguelike deck builder where you can where the 4 main buttons of the N64 controller, BAZR, hence the name, are then bound to actions that you draw out of a deck.
That's why it's called that. Okay.
That's why it's called that, yes.
Cute.
And it is so much fun. And that's been one of my favorite games of the year so far. Probably my favorite, right behind Expedition 33. So, yeah.
Cool.
Uncharted Wolf is up next. Hey, Wolf. Hey, Dog and Turbo Dog. Do you guys think Nintendo will do anything for Mario's 40th anniversary the same way they did for 35th? Galaxy 2 on Switch, Mario Movie 2 teaser, Mario Kart DLC, Mario games getting Switch 2 updates, or anything else that could fill a 40th anniversary direct runtime? Was the 35th anniversary celebrated just because it was convenient timing?
I think it's always kind of convenient timing. I don't know. I guess I'm curious because 35 doesn't even seem like a real anniversary to me, right? It's just like a whatever number. 40, I guess, is more real than that. I think it's
Nintendo does like doing like every 5 though, like even when
do.
it's something that you wouldn't expect, like 35. So I feel like they'll do something for 40.
Yeah, I think there will be a good amount of things we're ready anyways, but there will be there will be things, whether it's small stuff like, NSO icons or what have you. Collection is interesting though, because it's or a remaster, or remake. I'd love to see Mario Galaxy 2 on the Switch too, finally, or anyway. But I don't know if that's if that's on the menu. Even 3D Land or something like that. I have no idea what they can do.
I think Marino might have in chat just something like red and gold Joy-Cons or something like silly, like kind of nice like that. They'll just do something small probably. But then like also whatever Mario announcement was going to happen anyways, like you said, is probably what's going to be. Yeah.
I see. Even before they just post something on the dumb news app and that's it.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Today,
Nintendo Today.
Weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Nintendo Today because then it informs Wario 64, who then I look at.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, it's like they made an app for the actual influencers and news people.
Yeah, for the reposters to then pass on to us. Low Rule says, would you all consider Resident Evil 2 Remake a 3D Metroidvania?
Oh, it has those elements for sure. I mean, there are a lot of games that have a lot of elements of a quote-unquote Metroidvania that I wouldn't really call that. Like, a lot of Zelda games are very Metroidvania-esque in a ton of ways.
Oh, yeah, Zelda and Metroid have always been linked style-wise, gameplay-wise. Yeah.
I think the thing with the Resident Evil games, though, is that you're not really getting new abilities that unlock areas. You're just getting keys. Almost makes it more like a Doom-like or something like that, right?
That's a good point. That's a good comparison, yeah.
Right.
And that's what... Yeah, Metroidvania is all about the power-ups for sure. But I see what you mean about like going through the same areas over and over and like unlocking things that you now have a new item for. I get where your head's at, Lowrel. I see.
Yeah, it turns like the 3D Metroidvanias is always difficult because those always tend to be, they feel like a lot of genres. Like the go-tos that actually are that, right? I mean, there's the Metroid Primes, Arkham Asylum very much is that. Jedi Fallen Order even had a good amount of that feel to it. That's an interesting thing to think of. Maybe we need to do a Mount Rushmore of 3D Metroidvanias and like exclude Metroid Prime from the list.
That could be good, yeah. From Keywork, hey homies.
Yo.
I would like to use my mailbag question as time for Mike to throw together quickly his top 10 of the century since he failed to do so earlier. I personally did it, and to be different, I picked my favorite game of all time, World of Warcraft, and ranked the expansions. To help Mike have a little bit more time, what are your top 10 games of the century? Sean, thanks for all you guys do. Have a happy 4th and make good choices. So yes, if you need to get a notepad out or something, Mike, I'll give you
I'm opening up a Google Sheet right now.
There you go. I did screenshot this, so I would not forget it. I did a sort of half and half, maybe like 2/3, 1/3 between the games I genuinely think are the best from the past 25 years, and then some of my favorite, not some of my favorite genres, and I think the best game within that genre. So in no particular order, the 10 I picked were Persona 5 Royal, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey. I mentioned all those at the top of the show. Mario Kart 8, because I think it's a borderline perfect video game for what it's trying to do. Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Prime, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Elite Beat Agents, Bayonetta 2, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So those were the 10 that I picked.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Obviously, a lot of Nintendo lean, but what was Call of Duty the only non-Nintendo? Persona as well.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm like rushing here. I think, I'm gonna put this one on because it's gonna piss people off.
There's so many I wanted to pick that were like Third Strike. I would love to put on there, but that was arcade in '99, and so like I don't count that. And so,
can't put Kino Fighter 98, sadly.
Exactly. I was thinking like, what's the fighting game representative? And yeah, I know everybody traditional fighting games, but like Smash is the complete package. I could not put Ultimate on there.
All right, here's what I put together, real quick and dirty.
Not necessarily legally binding, but yes,
legally binding.
This is legally binding. You go to jail if people don't like it.
Well, boy, is that rough, because number 10 is Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, Christ alive.
Number 9, Uncharted 2. Number 8, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Number 7 is Breath of the Wild. Not my favorite Zelda game, but in this situation, I think you kind of have to give it to Breath of the Wild over Wind Waker even. Number 6 is Resident Evil 4 Remake. Sorry. Number 5 is Super Smash Bros. Melee. In this top 4 is probably pretty binding, actually. Number 4, Half-Life 2. Number 3, Metroid Prime. Number 2 is Final Fantasy 14. Realm Reborn, obviously. And then number 1 is Super Mario Odyssey.
I contemplated both 14 and RE4. Like, I'm not even a big RE fan, and I acknowledge how incredible RE4 is, and then 14 is a personal favorite. So either of those could swap out for a lot of the games on my list.
I will lose it if Half-Life 2 is not on there. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's
I
would trigger
considering the Giant Bomb audience, I would expect Half-Life 2 to
I hope
be up
so.
there.
Yeah. Also, why the remake and no original RE4?
I just like the remake
the cultural
more.
impact.
You're probably right, and I use that with Breath of the Wild. The original is probably more impactful, but I really liked that remake a lot. Again, if I looked at this more, maybe I would kind of lower that because of impact.
I respect the gut choice of remake though, because to me, and like if we ever do any lists like this, like me, you and Jeff, or like over on GB or anything like that, I always say that reverence has no place in a top whatever list.
Sure.
Like, I know people feel differently about that. That's how I feel it. Because if you put out like a top 10 list, if you go to someone who's never played a video game, hypothetically, you go to someone who's never played a video game, they say, hey, what are the best games? I've never really been to gaming. I just want to play the best. You're not going to say Super Mario Brothers 1 or Super Mario Brothers 3, most likely, even though those are some of the greatest games of all time, because that person will probably be like, but this Mario game that came out in 2017 like looks incredible, and everyone says that's like one of the best ones. And so that's why it's like impact. I don't like to weigh into some of that stuff.
I think that's why Odyssey is so easy, because it's like the newest and best one, and also just the best one, like no questions asked.
Yeah, like as much as I love Mario 64, I speedrun that damn game. I love that damn game. Odyssey just they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it.
I do kind of wish I had room in the list for Elite Beat Agents. That was a good pick. Snake Eater and Hitman World Assassination. I think I would like to see that. And Hades also I could do really well.
Yeah.
Boy, I really liked those Ori games, but just feel a little weird about them at the moment. Fair
enough. Good talk. Thanks for the prompt though, Keywork. From Nintenderic, that was a great voicemail dump truck today. It was a voicemail dump truck.
It was something.
Everyone should go listen to that. Super Eye Patch Wolf was on it. It was a really fun time. For Mike, how's it feel knowing Dan is just clearly the weird one?
Yeah, it was fun because I was getting targeted pretty early on because of my desk situation, and I was like, oh no. I'm going to be the weird one today. And then Dan really came to the rescue on that one. Really helped me out of a jam there.
Yeah, you can tell that the swerve happened because, I'm watching this and I'm like, I'm planning out social content for next week. I'm like, oh, well, the TikTok is clearly everyone making fun of Mike for his desk because that was really weird. And then we have Dan's international incident where I'm like, well, I gotta pivot the strategy a little bit for Monday.
English.
Input name here, top 10 games of the century. Just do it, bro. Do it right now. You can fix the list later. Right now, first thing that come to mind, then post it as the game mess list and never bring it up again. Well, there you go.
That'd be funny. I think I'm getting access to the CMS. I think we just realized I don't have that. So yeah, then I'll just post it myself. Screw it.
To the Giant Bomb CMS?
Yeah. I'm trying. One thing I had to kind of think of, maybe again, because it's weird to think of PS1 games for this, and yet there are.
You could.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I could even do Final Fantasy 9 was 2000, right? Like technically.
When did Pro Skater 2 come out? Was that 99?
Might have been. Well, wait a second now. When did the century begin? In 2000 or 2001?
Oh shit! This is a fucking Seinfeld-ass fucking question right there.
right.
Because it was no year zero.
By the way, either way, Pro Skater 2 was 2000, so that easily could go on my list as well. But yes,
I'm a 3 guy, but yeah, 2's also fantastic.
Yeah. From Mike Minotti's Rainforest Cafe JOI. I'm gonna say it right, AJ. It stands for jerk off instructions.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
I don't really have a question today, but here's me hitting you with the I fucking love you guys in the same way that your friends say that to you at the bar after 6 to 12 beers. Also, that since that grade A fuddy duddy isn't here, I hope Sean says my pen name properly. Don't worry, I got
There
you,
go.
homie.
There you go. Look. I'm glad AJ didn't say it in front of me. It's too
that
weird.
wasn't weird. If I do it, it's content. If your brother does it, that's just a weird thing.
It's impish and whimsical when you do it, Sean.
They also have a quick follow-up. Also, Sean, how's life with your 5070 been? Which, yes, in case anyone didn't hear, that's a graphics card I managed to get. Not the one I wanted, but the one I could settle on because it's the only one I could get for MSRP and not like $300 over MSRP.
Boo-hoo, he has one of the strongest fucking graphics cards out there. Come on. He's doing fine, people.
Oh, yeah, no. It's a really good card, and I am really happy with it. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about it because we have reached the point. I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm not trying to push 4K or super high frame rates, super high fidelity or anything like that. For me, it was more of a work thing. The 3060 Ti actually wasn't holding up in some work applications, so I did need to upgrade a little bit. And the 5070 isn't quite the jump I would have liked to make because of the VRAM situation specifically. I would have appreciated the 16 gigs, but at least for gaming and everything, and for the vast majority of work stuff, it's
the Mailbag and those CUDA cores are pretty good for work.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I hated having to pay $550 for the mid-range graphics card nowadays, but that's
quote unquote, yeah,
it's weird, right? Okay, next up here is Brogan95. I'm curious to know if Mike knows the total number of times he's been to Disney World/Land, both in his life.
No, part of me almost I don't know if I can figure it out, but people ask me this a lot. I really don't know what the answer would be, right? I'm sure it's 50 at least, I suppose, but I really have no idea what that total number is like.
I thought you were going to say in the hundreds, and I was ready for some degenerate number, but that 50 is okay, I think.
I think people expect me to say in the hundreds, and that's not really like that, no.
Yeah, so that's once or twice a year for most of your life then, basically.
Right, because there have been, but when I was a kid, it was once a year. It was not like we were going for multiple vacations a year. Really, or anything like that.
It was just your vacation. You happened to be going to Disney. Okay,
what's bumped the numbers is when I started just kind of sneaking off to Disneyland while I was in LA a bunch and things like that. That's what kind of boosted the numbers up.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. Next is from Always Be Clothing. What are y'all most hoping to see at EVO? New characters, new games, new costumes?
That's interesting.
We will see nothing at EVO.
Well, we already
I'm most hoping to see Always Be Clothing at EVO because I know ABC.
Yeah, let's go.
We already know what the Street Fighter characters are. Maybe Tekken will do right by us and give us Tifa finally.
What? Let me see. Wait, we know the theme of the next character. Oh, okay. So the next Tekken character is the new character, the new Tekken character.
Oh,
in universe Tekken, yeah.
Yeah, in universe new character.
Interesting. Okay, so I guess we have no idea what that could be like.
That's probably gonna be totally out left.
Marvel Talcon probably. I want to see that. They're probably gonna show gameplay. Maybe it's playable there.
The way, Rick, the guy who runs it, was sort of doing the rounds on a bunch of content creator streams and stuff like that. When he's talking to Max, he was coyly the announcement just happened and we're trying to figure out when we could maybe do something like that. And the way he was talking about it, I'm I feel like they're trying to get PlayStation might be trying to scramble to get a booth together or something like that. Because if they have a build ready to go, then they could put together the booth and have it playable.
Right.
Because Evo, Mike, have you ever been to Evo at all?
not at all.
Okay. It's slowly turning into like an E3 situation where there are like big themed booths that you can like go and play like Capcom stuff, Bandai Namco stuff, SNK stuff.
Well, PlayStation's publishing Tokon, right? And they run Evo, so there's got to be something.
Exactly. So I'm like minimum we're getting a trailer there, but it would be interesting to see if they even have like a small booth.
I want to see Cyclops in that game for Jan. I think Jan needs that badly.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if they have some cool knowing the design of that game, like some like jacket with a big collar Cyclops or something like that.
Sure, cool. Of course, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting anything crazy to be announced. That's gonna. I think it seems like all the big people are kind of spoken for with what they are working on right now, right? I mean, Capcom's busy. I mean, I would love it if Capcom finally announced some other fighting game aside from Street Fighter. If they gave us I'm not expecting Marvel vs. Capcom anymore, sadly. But give us a Darkstalkers, give us a Rival Schools. I don't know, probably not that.
CVS 3, something
well,
like that.
I would still pop pretty hard for CVS 3. Although. You know, that's so weird because we're just getting guest characters in both of their games now, really.
Right.
I don't even want to say it out loud because it's just they break my heart every single time. The scene is not what it used to be. Back in the day, we could expect some trailers and some stuff in tournaments, and they don't see that. That's an opportunity anymore to show that stuff. So that's why I'm kind of, whenever somebody asks that, I kind of get deflated because I remember the old days when we got like really hyped character reveal at the end of before grand finals and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. JD Camp, there is a Handles in the Portland area. Turns out Ohio can make good things. No animal cracker flavor when I went though.
Okay, hopefully soon then. That probably is Ohio's greatest export is Handles ice cream. Maybe that's some of those people who went to space that came from here.
From Laser Wolf, when you choose your Pokemon starter, is it based on type or just who you like for that gen? I always choose the grass starter.
Oh, it's always just whichever one I think looks the coolest. I mean, you can make whoever work in Pokemon for the most part. Or I'm never too attached to a specific type or anything like that either.
I'm a water Pokemon kind of person. If you can tell from the Greninja playmat and the Nessa poster behind me.
Okay.
Big into water Pokemon. The straw that broke the camel's back, though, was fucking Sobble in Sword and Shield. That dude looks stupid. Inteleon looks even more stupid. So I went with Score Bunny that generation, which, since the streak was broken, I then went with Sprigatito and Scarlet and Violet because it's adorable.
I did go with Score Bunny there. I do think Water has had the most winners over the years for me. I really liked Pinplup a lot. I think Pinplup's top tier.
Oh yeah,
starter.
Pinplup's one of my favorite Pokemon. I love that little guy.
Right.
Penguins are my favorite Penguins are my favorite Pokemon. Penguins are my favorite animal, so I love Pinplup.
Well, I got great news for you. Have you heard about my son?
Yeah.
I have, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I just got some new pictures. He's growing. He's becoming a strapping young penguin there. So very proud of Tokoto.
Big Fresh 36. I don't know, man. I get it. I get that. I feel that.
Weren't they Big Fresh 37 before? Am I crazy? Were they always
big? Go back?
Were they all weren't they Big Fresh 37?
Wasn't it 37? They regress.
Is this a Bernstein
Big
Bears
Fresh so depressed they're going backwards? Hang on.
What's happening?
Happening?
I could have sworn that was Big Fresh 37 sounds right?
That sounds right, yeah. I
didn't question right,
you said it. That sounds right.
Is this a Bernstein Bears type shit? What's going on?
Benjamin Bunn type motherfucker? Like,
what's counting down like Claire Obscures. Big Fresh, you gotta let me know what's going on. I'm worried now.
Big Fresh 37 got gomaged, and now we're talking his nephew, Big Fresh 37.
I'm scared.
I don't like this. What is going on?
Okay, I'm worried now.
Okay. Inufe says, why would anyone continue to invest in the Xbox ecosystem after this week's bloodbath? Clear they only want to focus on the biggest of the big and cut everyone else and make Copilot make games. They have never really recovered from the Xbox One fiasco, and it shows. I agree with that last part there for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you bought an Xbox Series X or even an S, and that's no cheap thing, I can't blame you for still, investing in the platform that you already invested in some degree. Again, like where I get confused and where I get skeptical is what the heck is the pitch for that next console, and how are you really bringing in people with that?
Yeah, I mean, if Sarah Bond's saying it's like the biggest generational leap, that's where I do think that like the licensing hardware thing is gonna happen, and we do see the next console be like a beefy ass PC that's like $1,200, and then the handheld becomes their Series S style, smaller model type thing. As far as like why would you continue to invest in Xbox at all in their ecosystem? What I'll say on that is I was thinking about this a bit, and I always try to tell people this when they have a situation like this, and it's not something people want to hear, and I get it because it's not an ideal thing to hear, but the box still works. Your purchases are still there for the foreseeable future, at least. Your games are still there, even if you bought them digitally. And if you want to jump ship somewhere else, that's a decision you can make. If you want to be a more conscious consumer on the current platform, that's a good option as well. Sometimes these situations are rough, and sometimes, to be blunt, yeah, like a corporation screws you over, and it turns out that like your investment didn't mean nearly as much to them as it means to you, and so you had to make a tough decision, and that sucks. I know it sucks. Take it from like that's why PC gamers love Steam so much, is because Steam seems unshakable. But we are skeptical of other launchers because some of us have even put money into other storefronts that kind of just like disappears in a puff of smoke. At least with a console, as long as the console works, your stuff will still be there. I don't see Microsoft shutting servers down or anything. So like, your purchases are safe. Yeah, and it's just up to you to decide what to do next.
Man, I wanted to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 recently, and I went to play it on PC, and I realized, oh shit, I owned that on Origin. So I literally just like watch listed on Steam, waited for a really cheap sale, and it happened, and I just picked it up there for like $5 or $9 or something.
Does it even launch through Steam? Because some of those like just open Origin.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, yeah, you did that, smart boy, and then when you launch the game, you open up EA Play or whatever the fuck. It's like,
no.
oh, we're back again, I guess.
There goes $5.
Okay, moving on. A little bit more lighthearted, perhaps. Breezy Caesar says, "Can Mike dress as Rascal on the regular?"
No. It's not as bad a costume as some, but the wigs suck. The wigs are so itchy. Like the little part of it that sits on your scalp is itchy. Then all the little hair fibers getting into your eyes and your eyebrows and your forehead. That's itchy. Again, I've had worse for sure. And then the sunglasses too. Everything was just really dark. So no, I'm not gonna dress up like Rascal.
John, it sounds to me like Mike Minotti doesn't like his viewers. His
yeah, that's what
people
He's
watch
not
him.
committed.
He's not committed to the content. That's why.
I'm a hate-filled person. That's for sure.
That's what we say about him. From B, I've been finishing up the last few Final Fantasy games on my Switch 2, and recently finished FF3, 5, 8, and now 10. I absolutely loved FF8, top 3 for me, but I'm not really into FF10 at all. Nothing about the game is hitting for me. Give us a Final Fantasy hot take. And yeah, do you have one, Mike?
Mine has always been 4. I think 4 is okay, and for a lot of people, 4 is as precious as a 6 is. And I mean, I don't think it's definitely a bad game or anything like that. But I played through 4 a couple times now, and I enjoy myself while I'm doing it. And then very little about that experience really sticks with me in any meaningful way. Whereas like 5, even 5 and 6, love those. I think 4 is easily the weakest of the 16-bit ones.
I guess like my list of favorite Final Fantasies like is maybe what you're thinking about here. I don't really have a hot take in terms of like the quality. I tend to align with like, because I appreciate games that maybe aren't the greatest. So like my favorite Final Fantasy games, my favorite Final Fantasy is FF7 Remake, like the first one, the remake. After that, like something more traditional is actually FF15, which is not what people would expect either. But again, like I said, I like action RPGs. And then after that, it's like, well, my favorite, like the more traditional ones that people are getting into, because even like after that, it's 14. But like after that, if we go further, it's 7. And 7's the first one where some people will be like, okay, 7's like the answer I was looking for there, of like, the ones from like 13 and earlier. But yeah, I actually do like a lot of the modern FF stuff, as it turns out.
Maybe my other slightly hot take is that I think Final Fantasy 2 is a bit better than people make it out to be. Some people act like it's easily the worst one. It's definitely low. But I don't know. I enjoy it still.
I never really played that one. Is that too like hard to get in? It's like it's a lot of.
It's
It's
easy.
because it's like the old.
It has a bit of a
one.
whack battle system, because that's the one where like the more you use something, the stronger it gets. And so
Right.
I think people can't overlook the fact that the like empirical best thing to do is to attack your own party members. Like,
Right. And he was, but I mean, that's just a different kind of grinding, is all it is. There's other weird things about the game for sure. It has some good stuff though. Pandemonium, its final dungeon actually kind of rips, and the song's awesome. But if you like old JRPGs, I still think it's worth playing through the Pixel Remaster version of that game. It's interesting.
Yeah. From Chektowski, shit forever or barf forever? I work with this man now.
I mean, shitting can feel good. Barfing never feels good. Unless it's like a big relief because you're that sick sometimes. But even then, like that's always not a good feeling.
But
yes.
you shitting, you don't taste the thing. You barf, you taste the
True.
thing.
Yeah, I think I
true.
definitely would rather be shitting all the time than barfing. Both are gonna smell
agree.
bad. So like that's like the
Yeah.
word. That's the one bad thing about the shit,
Look
is that
at
it stinks. So, but so does puke. So whatever.
You can wear a
One
diaper.
bad thing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, you're not gonna be able to live a normal life in society either way. It's a big problem, but I'll
True.
still take the shit
But
thing.
I mean, think about how you know me. 99% of what our relationship is, I could do from the toilet.
That's
I can't
true.
do that if I'm barfing on
That's
camera.
true. Also,
That's
like,
true.
maybe you can get like a job, just kind of like laying down manure for farmers, right? Just kind of
Yeah, that's it.
walk
Oh my
in,
god, I was thinking
just
this
walking down the
Oh my
lines,
God.
right? Like,
We share the
there's a
same
use
brain
for
cells.
shit. There's no use for puke.
That's true. Yeah, it can put you like in a car, and they should
Yeah!
you laying down shit and
Right.
should, like
Yeah, just like a
yeah.
wheelchair with a hole cut out of it, and just
With a
go
hole.
up and down the field.
Yeah. Oh my!
See, the
Yes.
shit thing is way better than the puke thing.
It's even good for the environment and everything.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
heroes,
that's okay.
actually.
Thanks, Chuck. From Prickly Pete, after watching Mike play Sekiro, I got the itch to start and play through my 4th run of the game. Wow. This time, though, this time through made it my most replayed game alongside Armored Core 6, not counting single-sitting games like Star Fox 64. What games have you guys played through the most, and how many times have you gone back to it? I don't replay a lot of games, so this is I would have to think about this a second.
I've done a few. It's definitely, they're usually older ones. Like the Mega Mans, a bunch of them I've played multiple times. Mega Man 3, I've probably played through 50 times by now. Because like it got to a point where I was just playing that game through a sitting. Like I had an hour, and I was like, hours probably pushing it. That's like a speed run time. But like a few hours I could play through Mega Man 3 if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Super Metroid, I've played quite a bit. I'm sure I've beaten that at least 8 times by now. Even some of the adventure games I really like Grim Fandango, I've probably done 6 or 7 times, and that's a game that doesn't seem like it has a lot of replay value, yet I love going back to it and just kind of exploring that world and just getting engrossed in the story and the environments.
Yeah, some of my favorite games are a bit shorter, so they turn into single-sitting games. Like for me, Metroid Zero Mission is a single-sitting game because I finished it in less than 2 hours. So I probably played that probably over 50 times at this point in my life. I do like at least one a year.
Mhm.
For a while there, I was even like trying to speed run it.
Resident Evil. Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead, Sean.
I was just gonna say that my favorite game, Mega Man Legends, probably my most replayed overall. With for a song that's more in the 10+ hour range.
How many times do you think you've played that?
Around all the way through, around a dozen probably.
I'm not usually a person who plays a game immediately after beating it, but I did do that with Metroid Dread. Like I beat it in all the difficulties and the lower times to get all those backgrounds. So I played through that 5 or 6 times just right when it came out. And the same thing with Resident Evil 4 Remake, because you kind of slowly work your way up. to getting an S+ ranking on that hardest difficulty, where you can only save a couple so many times, whatever. So that one I played through like 4 or 5 times, just like right away. Each time it gets pretty quick because you're not watching the cutscenes anymore. You know what to do. It's like that first playthrough is like 12 hours or whatever, and then by the end you're getting through it in 3 or 4. Great stuff.
All right. From Allie Miracle, how Irish are you today? Apparently not at all, according to the Irish experts.
Well, I'm definitely not at all. I got nothing.
I'm Argentinian, so I'm kind of Irish. Like, look, big Christian families that drink a lot, like to fight, and my grandpa hates the British, so it's pretty much.
How do you feel about
Ireland.
potatoes?
We love potatoes.
Okay,
there you go.
We have potatoes left and right.
Well, here
Honorary Irish.
In fact, I think potatoes actually probably originated more near you than from Ireland. So there you go.
we're connected,
It's true.
We're like this.
Yeah. From Chris 2K, hello, handsome, messy boys.
Hi.
Although I'm super hyped for DK Bonanza since the direct, I also can't stop thinking about Prime 4 and when the release date finally drops. So quick, what's your favorite Metroid power-up and why? I say screw attack, Mike, because you just plow through everything.
Yeah, screw. There's always something about when you get the screw attack that you're kind of like, oh, it's on.
Yes.
And it's usually the point where, okay, if I was holding back on doing any backtracking or exploring now, I can basically do anything that I want to in this game. Such a good name, too, the screw attack. They named a whole website after it that people giving problematic from later. I mean, it's the first thing that comes to my mind when you say Metroid power-up. So I might have a hard... I mean, Wave Beam is cool, shooting through walls and all that
Ice
stuff.
Beam is cool, too. Just the fact that you can turn enemies into platforms has always been a cool mechanic, I think. It makes you think about things a bit differently.
No, absolutely. But I don't know. I can't really think of one better than Screw Attack. I think you got it.
Okay. Only a few more here. Edgar Moreno. How likely are you to play Digimon Story Time Stranger? I actually like the way that game looks. I'm interested. I tried the other Digimon Story games, Cyber Sleuth and the other one. Didn't really hit for me. But something about the style of Time Stranger I'm kind of digging, and how they have, like, some of the characters have almost like a 50s vibe to them and everything. I'm curious to see how it all comes together. So I'm interested.
See, I used to really like Digimon. The thing is, I kind of... Like, I do want to play a Digimon game, but I want to play something that's basically like a modern Digimon world, more so than a really story-driven thing. So I don't know if Time Stranger is necessarily going to be for me, but maybe we'll see. We'll see what everybody says about it.
Okay. From Darth Stridius, I'm going with, if Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Persona were drinks, what would they be?
Kingdom Hearts is definitely like the kind of super sweet vacation drink you get at the pool bar. It's probably blue. It's blue for sure.
Yeah, it's the blue stuff. Yeah.
So it's super sweet. I think that
I was thinking like a fine wine or something for Final Fantasy, something a bit aged, maybe a whiskey.
Maybe, yeah, but if it's like if it's a cocktail, maybe more like a Manhattan, something a bit classy. But old school, classy and old school, I'd say Final Fantasy. Say a Manhattan there. Persona is something a bit more fun and bubbly. Maybe it's even a margarita. I don't know.
Oh,
might be a marg. Might be a marg.
I was thinking maybe like a vodka soda or something. Just something kind of light, and you can kind of just like take a lot of it in.
Just kind of vibe. Something you would probably drink at the club.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
EP Idiot Box, Happy Madison has purchased the rights to your favorite ensemble movie and is planning a reboot. Okay. Which movie is it? Doesn't have to be a comedy. And which one of Adam Sandler's usual Hollywood friends is replacing which character?
Oh my gosh.
It's
okay, so it's going to be 12 Angry Men.
Okay.
And Kevin James is going to play the part of the racist.
Okay, I see it. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good.
Okay, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna
I like that.
With that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right, there we go. What do you got, Sean? I gotta admit, I think I killed it. Good luck.
I got nothing. I was gonna say like The Expendables and Adam Sandler himself is just making cracks during it. I got
That's
nothing.
pretty good. That's pretty
You
good.
can do I don't know, Fast and Furious, and Toretto is why did I say Steve Buscemi? Not Steve Buscemi, the anti-vaxxer guy. What's his name?
Rob
That's all of
Schneider.
them.
Rob
Rob
Schneider.
Schneider. Yeah, Rob Schneider is
Yeah.
Dominic Toretto. There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
like that. Rob Schneider was a man, but now he's a stapler.
Rob Schneider's a carrot. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Rob Schneider, derper.
And after all that, Luna Land wants to say, just want to thank you for everything you do. And Luna Land, I'm so sorry.
Luna Land, I don't know what you do, but I want to thank you for what you do. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Luna.
Absolutely.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you for that mailbag there. Let's take one more break. We'll come back. We'll clean up any super chats, talk about what we've been playing, and wrap the show up. BRB, everybody.
Cool. Need a quick break or?
Yeah, no, I do need to take the dog out and pee, so I'll be back.
All right. Christian can
Rob
chat for a little bit.
Schneider. Someone, Corman in chat said Rob Schneider Sally is a big drum head. As why Sally? Rob Schneider's always suck. I know, like it was like that makes sense. Rob Schneider is a piece of shit.
Yeah, that checks out, right? Like,
Yeah, that makes sense. That just makes sense. Fucking the gigolo, whatever.
On anyone, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I always hated it. Ever since I've been a kid, I hated him when he shows up in what's that movie where Adam Sandler steals a kid? What's the name of that movie? I forget.
I haven't watched a lot of like Adam Sandler movies and like adjacent
Billy
movies.
Madison, Big Daddy, yeah, that
Hey
one.
Daddy? Okay.
Yeah, he's still like you from the was from the Daily Show guy. It's late, people. And I'm tired. I didn't even work out today, so I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm tired, anyways.
You're on our schedule. It's been a long week, so.
It's been a long way.
Yeah. Man, we still have a lot of random crap in this rundown, huh?
Steals. I don't know. Yeah, pronunciation is hard, Mikey. Yeah, Cuddlewood. He's not acting. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, why is it so good at being a piece of shit on screen? I wonder.
It's like the guy from Severance. Not Severance. Fuck. Oh, rough day. The one where all kids they're fighting for the money of the dad. The dad. Fuck. So Severance, the other one. Succession. There we go.
Succession. Okay. You're close.
It's wrong.
Close enough.
It's fucked up.
Severance, Succession, basically the same.
Cook. Well, the guy that's an asshole in the show is apparently an asshole in real life.
You know what, Christian? You should take tomorrow off. Just take the 4th of July off.
4th of July. Let's go.
Yeah,
give me the green card.
Yeah, we claim you, Christian. You're one of us. Aren't you excited?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Jeez.
Finally.
Never been a better time.
Oh man. We're having good times, everybody. Okay, we already bring it back with this last super chat, and we're already playing. If you want to talk a little about Doom, I've been playing a lot of Doom, so just holler at me.
I'm gonna talk about Doom.
I'll drop some knowledge. All right.
All right, we're back. Sean, what have you been playing?
Let's see. Okay, so I was thinking about what I would bring up here. I'll rapid fire a couple of them. Pokemon Violet, I'm playing on the Switch 2. It runs well now, thank God, because it did not before. I said I wanted to play it first and then watch the Digital Foundry video, which I did. And yeah, it was what I figured it would be. It's now 1080 60, which is, hey, that's still a massive improvement for that game. DLSS makes it very nice looking 1080 and everything too. So finally playing the DLC, because I said I would hold off playing that DLC until a better Switch came around, and now I am. And now it's the first, like the Sword and Shield DLC. It's 2 parts, and the first one is kind of just okay. But I've heard from everyone the second one gets better, so looking forward to that. Mario Kart World. Don't have a ton to add to the conversation that's been had about that game. I think it's pretty good. It's really good. There's things about it that I really like. I also agree that there's a weird lack of polish on a lot of it and a lot of choices that don't make sense. I think Knockout Tour is fantastic. Maybe I think that because I'm the weirdo who played like 100 hours of the Eliminator and Forza Horizon. So I love the idea of a racing battle royale. But yeah, you can't ignore that it's a step down from 8 Deluxe in a lot of ways.
I haven't touched it in a little bit, so
Yeah.
I've talked about my feelings with Mario Kart. I definitely want to play it again. I want to try out my camera. I do hope that like we get new tracks and things like that, or in costumes like relatively regularly, and give me a reason to go back there.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Next up, my bedtime game is still 100 Line, Last Defense Academy. I'm gonna try to talk around some things. I have finished the main portion of the story, and I'm now doing everything else. And if you know with that game, there's a lot of everything else. And so I'm kind of petering out a little bit, but then they keep giving me a little something where I'm like, ooh, this adds to the mystery. Something is solved by finding out this. I don't want to keep going with like where this story is going. So I'm still going with that. I think the big one that I've been playing over the weekend, played around 10-ish hours into Persona 5, The Phantom X.
Right. I'm curious what you think of this.
So if anyone doesn't know, if you haven't heard about it or anything, it is the gacha game Persona 5. It's like basically Atlas got a team to make a Hoyoverse style game, sort of like, Genshin Impact, Star Rail, and all that, but for Persona 5. And I was trying to think of like what's the term or what's the phrase I want to use to describe how I'm feeling with this game. And I think the one I settled on is Uncanny Valley.
Oh,
because
it looks like a Persona game. It kind of feels like a Persona game, but it's just not quite a Persona game, huh?
It's so close. It's like it looks like 5, it sounds like 5, it plays mostly like 5, but all these little things are off. And the weirdest part of all of it is the fact that they are basically retelling the story of 5, but with different characters.
Oh.
So it's not like just 5 for mobile. No, it's like a rehash of 5.
That's a weird choice.
It's such a weird choice.
I thought it was like a sequel, like an actual sequel to Persona 5.
And that was Strikers already was a sequel to Persona 5.
So that's the thing. Every single Persona game is actually a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know, like, Arena's a fighting game. There's the dancing games that are rhythm, but they are actually all story sequels. So technically, yes, it's another sequel. But what this game does is it asks the question, well, Joker and his friends woke up to their metaverse powers when all this like weird crap was going down. Why couldn't just more people in the city also do the same? And so like on the other side of town, another group of school kids is getting these powers, and they're just hitting all the same story beats as Persona 5. And it's really weird because maybe if you've never played the game, it's kind of interesting how this will be like maybe a different generation's Persona 5, like the mobile first generation. I think that's what they were going for. The problem is the fact that if you've played Persona 5, you've kind of just been here before.
Yeah.
And because so many little things are off, or in many ways just worse, because it is like MiHoYo where you can just play the game, but then you'll just like wander ass backwards into a screen that has real world dollar signs on it. And you're like, oh, I see. Because like those games, you can just play using the story characters you get, or you can add these cool looking characters from the gacha rolls. It's a weird dynamic that companies are doing now, but I guess that's where we're at. So yeah, I don't know. I can feel with each session that I play it, I'm falling off a little bit more and a little bit more. Because overall the quality is there. It's just because it's a rehashing of Persona 5, and it's just kind of worse in every way. I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't really need to play this like I would like Strikers or Tactica or Arena or anything like that. I could just play Persona 5 and get like the same feelings and everything. And it's especially weird for me because like Mike, you were there when we were doing Game of the Year last year. Like Persona means a lot to me.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
3 Reload, that was my Game of the Year. Like, you know, when I was going through some shit, like that game was like therapy to me. I loved how those characters were written and everything. Like they really hit, they really make you feel like these are fleshed out characters. And there is a little bit of an ick factor to like those characters being commoditized to like booster packs that you open, you know?
Sure. No, I know what you mean. The gotcha-ification of everything, even the horse girl games.
Even the horse girls, they're coming for everything, Mike. But yeah.
I gotta be honest, it doesn't sound like anything I think I'm gonna try. I you know, I'm okay letting it exist off on its own.
I think it would be worth a download just to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I wouldn't like say, hey, just stick with it and it gets better. Like, nah, if you see it and you're like, I'm good. Yeah, just get out and you'll be fine. But other people I know are also like really digging it. So like maybe you'll feel differently. Not you, Mike, but definitely not you, Mike.
If I was going to play one of these, it would be Honkai Star Rail because I like trains. And that's basically all I got.
You know what? Star Rail also, I think Star Rail also had the advantage of it was kind of a new and different thing to have like, this free to play gotcha, sure, which is a bad monetization model. I don't agree with it. But it was just like a whole new JRPG to play. And I've compared MiHoYo's games to like Bandai's Tales games, at least in recent years, where it's like you can count on those games being like a solid 8, right? Like just a solid 8 out of 10. That's kind of what like, you know, Genshin and Star Rail and Zenless have sort of been, is sort of like a solid 8.0, you know? So
I gotcha.
I'm just not really feeling it with Persona 5X, unfortunately. So maybe I'll give it a little more time and it'll click, but I can kind of feel myself just petering out with it.
I have been doing a couple things. I know I've been talking a lot about the Splatoon games, but I did start the Octo expansion for 2. Yeah, it's very good. I mean, you know, I told you how much I like trains. So I like that trains are involved here. I do think that Off the Hook is probably my favorite sort of DJ group in any of these games. So I like that they're involved.
The best. Yeah. Marina's the best character.
Marina's great, and the play off of Pearl is always good. They have the best they have the best comedic repertoire amongst each other, I think, right? It's a good duo.
You get a lot of background on them in Octo expansion as well. So if you like them as characters, you'll like find some cool stuff.
It's interesting how already it's like, oh, the main campaign of Splatoon 3 is much more a sequel to the Octo expansion than it is to the base Splatoon 2 campaign. Clearly they were just following on that route. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, want to play more. The kind of big new thing is Dune Awakening, which I did a couple hours of on some Giant Bomb content. This is that new survival MMO. I've heard nothing but good things about it. As much as I like MMOs, I haven't done much with the survival area, which is a whole different sort of subgenre here. But I had a really good time with it. The loop of just, gathering resources and building stuff is good. The game does a really good job onboarding you with all of that. I was never really confused. It's a pretty game. It's not overwhelming me with systems. Maybe it'll get there eventually. But right now, I just have a good grasp on it. Even early on, I was already sort of rewarded for exploring a bit. And, they make the traversal fun, which I think is so important for a modern kind of MMO, because you have the grappling hook, you have the Breath of the Wild style climbing with the stamina thing. So all of that just makes getting around and finding little caves and whatnot here and there pretty good. Christian was running around being my guardian and protector as I was facing the dangers of spice and worms. But you've been playing a lot more than me.
Halu was running around too, yeah.
That's true. You've been playing a lot more than me, Christian.
Oh yeah, let me see here on Steam. Let me go to Dune. I had 22.5 hours, and I started playing like a week ago. So yeah, I put a fuck ton of time on that. Yeah, it's really fun. I really like it. And I'm a Dune head, so it's double the fun for me. Like seeing like the world and that kind of stuff. They really nailed the feeling of Arrakis being this like really hard to leave place there, because the sun will cook you if you stay if you don't find shade soon enough. Your character will die which is really nice.
It's a really good fit for that. Like, I know sometimes we joke about, oh god, survival games, blah blah blah, but Dune makes a lot of sense for this genre.
Yeah, it fits the world. I see. I'm always curious with this. Anytime there's like a licensed game like this, does it tie into like the recent source material, like the movies or anything?
It's alternate universe, baby.
It's
yeah.
Whenever they do like a video game and that kind of stuff, they always go to the alternate timelines, because the how Dune is, it kind of lends to it. It's just it's just multiple timelines that he can see at the same time. So we're just in another timeline. It's not that. It's not that.
I'm not very familiar with Dune, so yeah. I'm
it's
curious
just
about this though. Okay.
Yeah, and also going back to the feeling of the place. I like it because the map is set. It's not randomized. It's just a designed map, but the spawn points, all that kind of stuff, they do randomize and they show up like in different places. So it makes it so it's very familiar to me. I feel really familiar with the place that I've explored so far. But at the same time, it's worth like re-exploring all the time for all the stuff you can find, all the loot. So it feels really nice just to run around that world.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna probably dive in and play a bit more of it when I can. I mean, that'd be a fun game to play while just watching some games done quick on a second screen. Absolutely. So.
Oh yeah.
And you created a Giant Bomb guild, right there, Sean?
Yeah. Yes, I created it. It's in the North American server, in the House of Thick in the Siege Al Rab. If you can, I'll tweet it afterwards. Post
I know
it
these sound like nonsense words, everybody, but
it sounds like nonsense. If you're a friend with me on Steam, I will show up on the list. It will say like your friend is playing this, or if you're friend with Mike's or whatever. It will show the server, but I still will post it on Bluesky for people to join, and then you can choose DM me, and I'll add your character to the guild. It's really fun. It has the it's been a while since the game an MMO is like pick your faction. I feel like just WoW did that. Things were like, oh yeah, you can choose hang out with this NPCs. The other NPCs don't like it, so it feels like kind of refreshing, even though it's a really old.
14 does a little bit of that. But...
Did either of you play?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Did either of you play Dark Age of Camelot back in the day? Because that was like the whole thing there. There's like three factions in like the three separate continents, and then they fought each other. Yeah, that is some boomer shit. I'm not gonna lie, but Dark Age of Camelot was pretty sweet back in the day.
2001.
Yeah, Dark Age of Camelot was kind of the MMO in between EverQuest and World of Warcraft. Really, yeah. Like people who were there, they knew it was sweet. They kept trying to make successors to it, and they never really took off. All right, we got a couple more super chats here. I'll read real quick. From Alex WP, should I call in sick on the 4th? I'm leaning towards hell yeah, absolutely. Why are they making you work on the 4th? If you're in America, anyways, call off anyways. Go for it. And
especially if you're overseas, call in. Yes.
Yeah. Then Chris Pratt says, "Wow, Jeff Shrub grew his hair back. Very handsome."
Thank you, Chris Son. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris Son. Alrighty, let's start wrapping up here. We got a long weekend to enjoy. Play some video games, watch some games done quick on Sunday. Sleep in like crazy. That is what I like to do. Sean, is there anything you would like to plug as this music begins playing?
I did update my website. So if you go to turbosean.com, that's SHAWN. Now it's just my link tree. So you can get an up-to-date list of everywhere I am, my Blue Sky, my Twitch, where I'm streaming a few times a week, YouTube, where I post the VODs. All of that's just Turbo Sean as well, if you just want to search for it. Yeah, you got everything all in one place there. And then, hey, I'm helping out over at Giant Bomb again, so might not necessarily see my face on camera as much, in the beginning here, but I'll be editing the podcasts, some the ones that I used to, doing the social vids again, and then helping out with the odds and ends here and there. I got a little secret project. If you know, I got another one of those going up on YouTube. That'll be a fun one to put out. And maybe another something I'm gonna, like, if I have the time for, I'll try to get out the door as well. So yeah.
Well, it's great having you back, for sure. There's by the way, there's a weekend sale happening on Giant Bomb right now. Sorry, Sean, you're gonna go black here because I have to find what the code was again. On the store, going through Monday.
Stark.
Go to giantbomb.com and use the code GB Independent. Independent GB. That's what it was, right? Independent GB is the code there, so you can get 17%
Merch
off
master,
your order.
everyone.
Yeah, look, I'm working. I just realized at the last second here. Oh, I should probably promote that. Yes, Independent GB. There's Sean's face again. Fantastic. That goes from Monday, so save a little bit there on some summer merch or any other merch that you want. A bunch of mine came out. I was wearing a bunch of it earlier, although I accidentally cooked while I was wearing my We Bought a Bomb shirt and got it a little dirty, so I had to throw that. Oh, God, that's in the wash. I got to put it in the dryer now. I always do that. I wash things and I forget to dry them. Now I got to do it before they get all gross.
They're right next to each other.
I know, but it's downstairs. So I don't think about it. I put it there. I did too much for dinner today. I cooked a whole skirt steak and it was delicious, but it was smoky and it took forever. There was a whole to-do. The music's playing us out. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. Be safe.
Careful with the shy halud.
My Dixie Rap. You turn that bad boy on, and out it comes.